Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Stanton Gossip. Um, we're gonna have a slightly less topics this week, partially because well, actually I was like kind of digging for something and I couldn't find much. There's a lot of
Nope.
stuff happening. Like everyone's doing stuff about like PO, as we just talked before the
Yeah.
show. Um, I personally don't even know officially when PO is leaving us, but
I I've I've heard 314, but I can't confirm. I know Luke Presley made a post, but I'm not sure if that was confirmed to be for 314 or just that it's going away sometime. But yeah,
yeah, I don't know, but
my my feeds have been awash with like homage to
hmm.
Port Olisar and farewell to Port Olisar and nothing else, and I'm sick of it. Like, okay, guys, I like Port Olisar because it's an easy station to get around. And, we've had some good times being that I remember the first time kind of like going out there. But like at the end of the day, I'm just sick of it. It's just like my entire feed is goodbye to Port Olisar and Port Olisar videos, which I suppose is the first video we can mention because one of our more well-known Star Citizen content creators, Morphologis,
Yeah,
did
he did
a
architect
Port
review.
Olisar video.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about this at all. Um, I have a little bit different take from you. Like not about like everyone making the same shit. It's just always boring to me. But sometimes you find a gem there. And if anyone, it usually would be Morph. But I watched the video. It's good shots and everything. Like everything you expect
Yeah.
from Morph. But let's be fair, like he's doing an architect review, which is his specialty, and I always get excited for architect review when it's new ship and stuff about
Yeah.
an asset that they already agreed with that is old, does not look good, and they're removing from the game. So what's the point? I don't know. It's kind of
Not
strange.
not to mention we all know Port Olisar like inside and out. Like unless you're brand new, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah, no. To me it felt like just jumping on the Port Olisar bandwagon craze, which like I get it, you're a content creator, you got to do that, but I didn't even bother clicking on it because I'm like I said, I'm sick of all this Port Olisar crap.
I did. I like Morph. He's a good duder, and
He
he
is,
invests a
yeah.
lot of time to. I don't want to try and make you feel bad, man, or anything like that. But if you
Whatever.
guys, I mean, if you're following Morph, if you're not, like, you should definitely follow him anyways, because he does a lot of good stuff. But yeah, if you're following him already, you probably saw his video, because yeah. However, when like apart from content creators making a lot of stuff about PO, I really feel like it's really not a good time to remove the station that is so easily accessible or from which you can easily access your
Yeah.
ships at the time where we have desync, we have so many issues, like
Tons of crashes. Yeah.
crashes, yeah, to desktop. I had blue screen today. Maybe the reasons are different, temperature and whatnot, but it only happens in Star Citizen. 30Ks are happening again. So I would say to be like more to get like a proper solution, which is not my job or anything, but like I would be okay with Port Olisar being removed from the game the moment we can actually properly use our ships as base of operations, as living
Yeah.
quarters. So if even in Aurora, like if I can sleep in my ship, log out wherever the fuck I am in 3 days, log in, and do missions or whatever, or any other ship, as a matter of fact.
Not to mention, sorry, could
No,
finish there.
I mean that's it.
No,
Like
just
at that point, we can
yeah,
spend 10 minutes to get to a bigger city or station or something like that. That's
yeah,
fine because I don't have to do it all the time whenever the game crashes and all that
exactly.
stuff.
Well, it's not it's more than just the crashes. It's that the gameplay, the way it stands right now, oftentimes has you, in and out of those stations. Even, and I'm not even talking about the cities here. I'm just talking about the other larger stations where you still are in an elevator for a considerable amount of time.
Hold on.
um like the gameplay necessitates you, if you're cargo hauling, you got to like run in, get in an elevator,
Mm.
then go get in another elevator, to get to a place where you can sell that cargo, and then go do it again to get back to your ship, then fly it to another destination, then get in another elevator, then get in another elevator. And if these were short elevator rides, I'd say whatever, it's not that big a deal. But like, like oftentimes the elevator ride from the landing pads to the main center in a station, I mean, you're literally traveling kilometers, and it takes time. And with that sort of the way that the game plays right now, plus like you said, the bugs, the disconnects, the random deaths, the things like that, like Port Olisar was the one place you could go where it was a
don't have to
very
worry about
simple.
this, right?
Yeah, it was a very simple matter to just like jump out, go get in your ship. But at the same time, so many people were, over the past year, 2 years, have been either complaining about pad rammers or PvPers or
Yeah, but they
anything
have
else
an
to do with
option.
these open pads. And like it to me, they might have an option, but it's way easier to just say, okay, gone, replace it with one of the new ones. That's easy. You can do that.
I disagree with that 100%, but that's okay. Because they
I
can go to Grim Hex, and especially now, and
That is true. Yeah, Grimhex is another place.
and
where
I
you don't have to
cannot go to PO if I don't have a CR station. And just to clarify this again, because I gotta start being like very careful with how I explain things, to not try, because my goal, and I'm sure Masa is the same, we're not here to piss you guys off. That's 100% like not our idea. So I think the long elevator trips and all that, even though I could live without it, like teleport would be fine with me if they could like squeeze it into the lore. But long elevator ride gives you this impression of a bigger world.
It does, yeah.
And I think it's a great asset to the game, unless it becomes annoyance.
Yeah.
Right? So
yes,
if you
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think the reason that it's annoying, right, is because this like it's just the state of the game right now, right? So and it's like
unavoidable all the time for whatever you're
Yeah.
doing, right? So that's the problem. Which
and
is
there's
what I'm
nothing to
saying.
do while there's nothing really to do while you're on them. Like occasionally you can like pick up missions or whatever while you're going down to the spaceport or something like that. But like, I think it's more of a product of like an incomplete game and things being put in. I don't know, maybe before before the game is really in a state where it can be.
Yeah, this is why I'm saying like this. It would be so much better like if they could like leave it there, maybe next to the regular news station. Although that's probably a lot of plugging the servers and whatnot. But like so like you have an option. There you go. And then once they iron out all the quality of life things, then just fucking remove it. It's fine. I don't mind. Like if I can live in my ship, I'll take my sweet time going to the station or whenever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's fine.
Plus, again, let's say like, okay, so let's say orgs are actually in the game, and you're like, basically just something to the point where it doesn't feel like you're living in the elevator. Things to kind of remove the tedium. The other parts of the game that are yet to kind of like plug in. Like I get it. I'm not anti-elevator, and I'm not anti-train down in the main cities or whatever. Like I appreciate the immersion of that, but. Same. Yeah, at this point in the game, stations like Port Olisar are more conducive to playing the game in the state that it's in right now.
It gives us more time to play and test things rather than
less frustration time.
Same bugs and issues that we're encountering while trying to get to our ships.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone gets anything out of it anymore. Not even like what kind of testing is when you know exactly what's going to happen. So all right.
Okay, so we tangented a little bit, but Port Olisar, it's been in the news a bunch.
Yep.
So
the more video in description, no others. I just don't feel like it's just a flavor of the week or month maybe, but you guys can find a bunch of it if you feel like.
I'll go give him a like because I like Morph.
I did that.
Damn video.
Yeah.
Next one I put on here was a Montoya video again, where he was talking about the Railen and kind of comparing it to a bunch of the other cargo ships around. And I mean, we've talked about Montoya a couple times. We definitely have very different opinions on like from just between Chegg and I about his content a lot of times, and we definitely disagree with his content sometimes. In this case, definitely a video where another situation where I didn't agree with everything he said. But one of the things that jumped out to me, and the reason I wanted to put it on here, was that I think, is maybe one of the, maybe the first, at least one of the first content creators. We have talked about this, yes.
So
but I mean, like, okay, fine, yes. One of the first content creators out there who mentioned how
you can have a different connection with a ship. It's not like only min-maxing.
It's not always about, you know, what it says on paper, you know. Like, there are people who, there are intangibles about the ship, how it looks, how it feels, how it flies, you know, to say nothing about, you know, different situations that would occur in game where it would be better than some of the other ships kind of similarly priced around it and stuff like that. And we actually, we talked about this when the Railen came out, you know, that we just don't see yet because we don't have the game, right? So anyways, it was interesting. And I think just to hear him kind of say, oh, also he touched on sound. He said, like, you know, sometimes just the way that a ship sounds, you know, can be enough to make you want to fly that ship. Like,
I think a lot of people are not aware how much they lean towards certain manufacturers because of the sound. Two different sounds. One, just ships itself. Like, I really like how, I think that's what actually made it for me with the what's the little pickup?
Nomad,
because it sounds different, and it's just like, it feels good. But then a lot of people, like with Aegis, you have that like poof, and then the engine starts, you know, and stuff like that. But also the AI voice matters as well. We cannot change these so far, so maybe it's gonna have a really nice voice in there, or, you know, God, I mean, just lights. Morph can talk about this, I'm sure. Like, the atmosphere that the lights create inside really affects you if you want to stay a long time in a ship or not.
Totally.
And stuff like
and
that.
And that's not something that you hear people talk about frequently when people are talking about a like Infrarunners, for example, is all about what it is on paper, you know what I mean? Yeah, bang for buck kind of a thing. And a lot of the other like ship tours, again, will really go through how things are on paper, which, I mean, in concept we don't have any other option, but, you know, but there are very few people that focus on those sorts of intangibles, you know.
It's true.
And I thought that was interesting. So
I don't blame them too much, because in general, MMOs and games nowadays are very much, you know, like, played around min-maxing. But I really think that Star Citizen will have kind of like split player base between like people who are just min-maxing and then people who are going to like think about what they're getting for their money, but also think about like how it feels while they spend, because you're going to spend a lot of times in your ship, right? So you want to feel good about it. So I agree with that part. The rest, like, there's a lot of things that he said that I'm like, you're full of shit, man. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Like,
say that
a lot of the stuff I was just like, what? Okay, well, okay.
What are you even comparing? Like,
but yeah, like, anyway, it's worth clicking on, you know, and then let us know in the comments kind of what you thought he was on point about and what you disagree with. I just thought it was interesting, again, to hear somebody actually talk about looks and sounds and stuff like that, you know, above and beyond just the paper stats. So yeah.
Should I take the next one?
Yeah, sure.
So we talked about not having enough to talk about literally a day ago. I messaged Master, I was like, dude, I've been looking for some videos, to fetch and whatnot, and I was like,
But it's all Port Olisar shit.
yeah, it's rough. And then today I finished my stream, and this showed up in my YouTube suggestions, and it's the creator is called, I might butcher this, but Endaclone.
Endaclone, yeah.
And the video is called Sculpting a Vanduul, and it's a almost 15 minutes long video, 15 minutes long video of him just doing that in VR, making a Vanduul head with starting with nothing. and there's something very satisfying with where like just like the whole process of going through it. I was kind of mesmerized. I did not expect to get stuck in that video and watch like the whole thing. Well, music is good, right? And he's definitely, he knows what he's doing. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like, I'm constantly saying when we're covering the SCLs that are like art focused that I don't really care about that. But like this one, yeah, you're right. It was very mesmerizing, probably because of the VR aspect. Like it had never occurred to me that you might be able to use VR for art. Like to me, it was like VR was like semi-gimmicky game platform.
Oh man,
and like and maybe something with that would become a little bit more mainstream later on. But like watching him sculpt in this and like just how the controls moved and things like that, and seeing him being able to like kind of just like pick up the sculpture and like move it around and stuff was like, it was
and mirror
really
like
cool.
things where he's like doing the same thing on both sides, and
and
then coloring, like I like by like near the end you're like, okay, this model looks good, but it just is lacking, a lot. And then fucking last minute he just boom, lights, colors. Ooh, bro, it looks fucking good.
Does the places where you like where things are like supposed to be a little bit glossier, reflections, and like it's 15 minutes long, this video, and
it's massively sped up, by the way, but good enough to see like the moves and everything.
Yeah, like watch it. I watched the whole thing. I only skipped close to the end just because we had to start recording and stuff like that. But like so cool. Not to mention this guy is like a very small channel, like brand new. I think he's only got like 3 videos. Oh, he also sculpts a Banu, if you
I was about to say, so there's a whole video about Banu. I want to say though, Banu at the end looks good, but it almost feels like he has learned a lot from sculpting the Banu, and the Vanduul, the whole process and attention to detail and everything to me looks better, but I have no knowledge about any of this, so this is just like
me either.
Like from the way I watched it, it's like
it may as well be magic. It may as well be magic. It's just it's super good. Definitely.
Another thing I want to mention about this video is like if you read the first like few comments, well, the first one on Vanduul is kind of hilarious. Like, why does this video have only 200 views? That's not gonna age well, bro. Like, this is good content, and it just came out 3 days ago, so I think in like 3 weeks it's gonna have like 5,000 or something. I hope so, because it's great.
Once Reddit gets a hold of this, it's just gonna explode.
Yep, I agree. No, it's gonna explode because of our Stanton glass.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah. I forgot. It's all us.
But also, like in the first few comments, he says that he's allowing people to 3D print. He gave the 3D printer whatever code or whatever, however it goes. And the only thing he asks for in return is to send him a picture of physicalized, head once you do it. So for those of you who are like interested in 3D printing some amazing looking stuff from Star Citizen, there's your source. Please like check it out, throw follow, like we'll sub or whatever. And it just seems like, and from the comments, it seems like super nice guy, like.
Totally. Even if you're not into art stuff, I'd say give this one a go, because again, I mean, I'm not really, but I thought this was awesome. So yeah.
Agreed.
Next one was another video, and we don't usually do board gamer stuff because he's a big channel. Everybody's probably everybody who's paying attention to Star Citizen has already probably seen something he's put out. But he put out an interview 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that, with I can't remember the guy's name, but he's like a guy who spent like over $100,000 on this game, and
We don't know how much over 100,000, but
it was interesting, man. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, part of me is just kind of like, oh, thanks for doing that, I guess, and the other
I'm
part of it was
definitely,
like,
yeah, I think it was a good video, good interview.
yeah, he had some like, he seemed sometimes he seemed like a pretty conscientious kind of a guy, who, and then other times he'd say things that just kind of had me going like, whoa, like
Man,
that's probably not healthy.
before we start, like, you know, dissecting this, I just want to say, I always, and my family's like this, we always try to have enough money for a normal life.
Yeah.
Which, like, you need to have some, like, ideas about what it is. Like, maybe go once, maybe twice for vacation, have 2 days
Mhm.
off a week, maybe have a car, have a roof on top of your head, have fridge full of food.
Yeah.
But, like, no need for more than that. And this is one of the reasons, like, I cannot really imagine, I would never want to be as rich to not worry about spending 100K on a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, okay. And
I think that messes with your brain big time. And if I'm being honest, I know some people, right? Because of the industry I used to work with, movies with like crazy, highly paid, actors. Plus, and walking among Serbian people here, like being literal gods when it comes to money, right? Because some of them are worth more than my country. and then also cruise ships where like it's especially celebrity cruise lines, even Royal, where like you have cruisers like literal creme de la creme of like very high society people being there, and you can see like not a big number of these people are down to earth. And I gotta say, like listening to this guy, yeah, some of his points are kind of awkward, and I'm like, wait, what? But some of them are kind of respectful, and it's obvious that he understands that some people cannot do what he can.
Yeah, and to be very clear here, I'm not saying he's a terrible person. It was it was interesting because there was
some things are fucking. I guess you can only afford to do something like that when you don't care about money. I don't know.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, he even says in there, he's like, $100,000 is nothing to me. So like I get it. Like he's a wealthy dude. He works in the software industry. Sounds like he's pretty highly placed. So like clearly probably at the very least making six figures.
What really?
And at the same time, like absolutely spend your money on whatever you want. Like I'm not going to criticize you for that at all. It just for me there was a couple comments where he kind of says it's okay for me to spend a ton of money on ships because people spend that much in Vegas, and I was like, that's maybe not the healthiest comparison.
I mean, in a way, it's entertainment both ways, right? Yeah. But or he could have said like some people spend on drugs,
true.
or whatever.
Yeah.
One thing that caught me off guard was like he bought a $51,000 pack.
Oh, $5,100 pack. Yeah.
$5,100.
That was his first pack. That was his,
it was 5,000. It was not 50,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 5,100. But still, that was his first pack. He didn't buy a starter pack and then get the bug and then buy a bunch of ships. Like this guy went all in.
No, but even worse, like he did not do any research. He was like,
"Oh yeah,
I bought this in 2017, and he didn't even play. And then he came back to the game in 2 years or something. And I'm like,
that's right. Yeah.
He just paid $5,000 for a game.
I mean, a game, but like I get like also from that perspective, like that was literally probably just like walking around money to him. So like I get it. I don't know. It was anyways, as you can tell, it's an interesting interview.
And I like few things. Like they ask him and Zinnia ask him if he considers himself a whale, and he's like, yeah.
He's like, literally by the definition, I am a whale.
Yeah.
But
There was another
yeah.
one. But, oh yeah, this was so funny to me. Like he's concerned about if he's gonna like the game or not.
Oh yeah,
That was
yeah. That
so
was that was
fucking strange.
that was the other thing that just had me kind of like scratching my head. Is like he's like, I've spent all this. He spent all this money, and he literally says that he's scared at the direction the game's going. And I don't know. Anyways, again, like just to be
It's super
very clear here
interesting.
again,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. It's just, and I'm not throwing any shade or any judgment here. It was just like, it was just very clearly a form of logic and a style of life that is just foreign to me, and I just like couldn't wrap my head around some of the rationale. That's all. So, and like I said, like not making fun, not judging, anything like that. You know, just
Each
kind
their
of
own.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad. I mean,
To
I'm
me,
glad there's people like this who support the
it's
project.
so
Right?
yeah, totally. And it's I think the main thing is it's so outside of my experience that I, you know, like
Tell me
it's
about it, bro.
I just have to be like kind of like incredulous when I'm talking about it. That's all. But interesting. It's definitely, yeah.
You know what was
Definitely give
really
that a
strange?
listen.
When Board asked him if he knows any other people who have invested 100,000 or more, and he's like, "No, I don't know. I know." He speculates about one person, but like, and he's like, "You know what? I personally don't go around." And this is what I really like. He was like, "I don't go around." And by the way, we said a lot about it, but there's so much. It's like, it's a proper interview. It's still worth watching. Of course, we just gave you like little tidbits. But like he said, and I like this answer. He was like, I don't really go around telling people I have 100K ships, you know, or if someone is trying hard to get a ship, you know, they work for it or whatever, and he's like, yeah, like, you know, I have it or whatever. This definitely was
that
like,
that was where he
nice.
like he clearly like like he realizes kind of that he's in a position of privilege, and he doesn't go out of his way to like flaunt, you know. Yeah, like there was a situation where he was like, you know, like he's in an org coalition or whatever, and there's people who are talking about like, you know, really wanting the MSR, but it's not really in the budget right now, etc. And he's not the type of guy to just be like, oh yeah, I just bought it, you know, like whatever, you know, because like he realizes that his situation is not the situation that everyone's is. So I don't know. Anyways, very interesting perspective that it's
something different from Board Gamer, and
yeah,
I'm down for that, because you know his everyday stuff that he does is very useful for a lot of people.
Yeah,
those who are following like it, like especially coin creators, like people like us, we know all this. It's not like I don't care about that. I'm glad he exists, and he's very useful for like Star Citizen as a whole project, which I hope Star Citizen recognizes. I think they do. But when he does something different like this, I'm down to like say that, because a lot of people like me, if you did not post this link, I just never like check what Board is doing, because I know what he's doing. He's in his loop every day pumping a video, you know, like. But I'm glad
honestly,
I watched it.
I'm probably just lucky that I stumbled across this, because I'm kind of in the same way where like there's so much content coming out of Board Gamer, and so much of it is stuff I already know, that I do just kind of, I tend to just kind of scroll past. But this one jumped out at me, and I was like randomly, sure, you know, you know, let's give this one a go, and I'm glad I did, because it's different for sure.
As a content consumer, I wish Board made another channel, or maybe made Zinnia a channel, where they would do these different things there, because I'm sure a lot of people miss out on this content because of they do exactly what we do.
Flood. Yeah.
And not out of disrespect for Board or anything, but that's just not where I get my daily updates. Because we look at the map, we listen to ISC, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of wish he split it somehow. Oh, funny thing, a guy who is common in my streams is a moderator in another stream, and Board Gamer showed up yesterday. It was a different game. I don't know, something in alpha, and
I
he
saw something about that. Yeah.
he was asking, and it's a different game. It's not Star Citizens. He asked about something, and people in the chat, I got the screenshot. You can see it on my Discord. They were like, "Wait, are you the Star Citizen board gamer?"
It obviously was. Yeah.
Yeah. It's him. It's him.
He showed up randomly in a comment section in the RP1 Star Citizen Facebook group the other day, which I kind of keep.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. I think we're gonna wrap it with this. Exactly 30 minutes.
Huh.
Before we go, I just want to say, last episode for me of Stanton, of Straight Outta Stanton. If you guys were watching it, I was in a really bad state physically. I had some issues. My head was dizzy the whole episode and everything, and we had to call it short a bit. Therefore, lack of energy and everything. Maybe even some grumpiness unintentionally and all that. I just want to apologize for that. It happens. We're just humans, just like you guys.
Yeah.
And
I told you, man, the heat makes you crazy. It does.
And like currently in my apartment is like 40 Celsius, which I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's extremely hot. So yeah, rough times here in Belgrade. So
104.
bear with me. There you go, 104. Inside, and it's nighttime. Fuck. Help.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great rest of your day and the week, and hopefully we see you Sunday, Monday with Straight Outta Stanton. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.